Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity once again. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, man, go ahead and be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications. Hit that like button and be sure to go ahead and drop a comment down below when complete. So as y'all can see by the looks of the title on the screen today, I got a very special build coming at y'all. Probably one of the most rare and easily the best version of the Lob Threat build, aka the Aaron Gordon build. So the first thing that you want to go ahead and do to make this build is, of course, put it under the power forward position. I'm telling you, there are definitely other positions that you can actually make this build out of, but when it comes down to the power forward, this is what's going to allow us to get those elite contact dunks, also with the potential to get over 100 badges, and I'm telling you, the defense on this build is really solid as well. So, when it comes down to the breakdown of the height, I'm going to be going with 6'7". As for the weight, I'm feeling somewhere around 210 is going to be perfect. And then as for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'4". Now, as for the body shape, this all comes down to which one you feel most comfortable with. But what I'm going to go ahead and pick is going to be builds. Now, y'all already know what y'all need to do from here. Just as soon as we get into the breakdown of these attributes, please be sure to follow along so that way you can make the exact same build, make for make, exactly how I bring it to y'all. So, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is get started with the finishing. Of course, this is probably one of the most vital parts of this build itself. Now, when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with the 91 close shot, which gives us the potential to get to a 99, which makes this build just that much more unique for the post scoring. Then for the driving layup, I'm going to go with an 80. As for the driving dunk, I'm going to put this to a 92, so that way once we do adjust the vertical, we're going to be able to get the elite contact dunks. Now, for the standing dunk, I'm going to go ahead and put this up to an 82. That's going to allow us to get a total of 29 badges for the finishing. Now, once we go ahead and get into the shooting, here is where things are only going to continue to get even better. I'm going to go with a mid-range shot of 82. Then when it comes down to the three-pointer, I'm going to go with the 79 as well as with a free throw of 84. Now right there, that's going to bring us up to a total of 23 badges. And I'm telling you, for the shooting and the finishing, this is easily making the build just that much more versatile when it comes down to the offensive end. Now, from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the playmaking. Be very specific with the numbers that you do pick on this build. I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 76. Ball handle, I'm going to go up to an 80. And then finally, when it comes down to the breakdown of the speed with the ball, I'm going to go with the 73. And that's going to allow us to get a total of 22 playmaking badges. Now, if you decide to go about the numbers any other way than what I am showing y'all, please first be sure to go ahead and make this build how I'm bringing it to y'all. Then after that, what you can do is really make your own adjustments, so that way if you do get a different build name, it's not because what I brought to y'all, it's just off of the adjustments, which honestly, you can use what I'm bringing to y'all today as a spreadsheet of how to start making this build. So, let's go ahead and get into the defensive end now. I'm going to go with an interior defense of 65. As for the perimeter, I'm going to go with the 75, 62 steal, 68 block, and then when it comes down to the rebounding, what I feel like is going to be perfect for this build, go with an 81 defensive rebound as well as a 51 offensive rebound. That's going to give us a total of 17 badges. But remember, this build has huge potential to change how it's going to be used when it comes down to adding boosts on this build. And not only that, but running with teammates that are going to have defensive leader as well as floor general. Now let's go ahead and get into the physicals. So as you can see, I'm going to go with a speed of 78. As for the acceleration, 74 is going to be best for my liking. Then when it comes down to the strength, I'm going to lower it down to a 40. Vertical must be in 80. And then once we go ahead and get into the stamina, this is going to be maxed out at a 90. Now again, if you feel like changing anything from the physicals, all you gotta go ahead and do is either one, you can lower your free throw or drop down some of the defensive stats. But I would highly recommend not to touch anything on the finishing end. From here, let's go ahead and get into the takeovers. As you can see, we get the slashing, shot creating, then of course we are getting the sharpshooting, and then finally on this build we will be getting the playmaking takeover. So whichever takeover you decide to pick, it really comes down to how you feel about going about this build. But for me, just to make this build that much more better with the animations, I'm gonna go with ankle breaking shots takeover. Secondly, this all comes down to what you want to do. Again, there are a lot of different good options to pick from, so whichever one you choose, base it off of your own playstyle. For me and this specific build, I'm going to go with the finishing moves takeover. And now from here, as y'all can see, we have made the lob threat build. Now, I'm liking how this build name really came out to be, but honestly, with the versatility that it comes with, this is not a normal lob threat build. You're going to be able to shoot, dribble, play some pretty good defense, and then on top of all that, you're going to be able to poster anybody at ease. So, before we go ahead and get into the badges, let's just go ahead and check out what the potential of this build is really going to be looking like once we go ahead and max it out, add boost, and all that good stuff into it. So remember, you're going to be able to add boost as well as run with teammates that do have floor general and defensive leader. Then include, we're going to be able to get a +10 to the shooting from the shot creating takeover and a +10 from the finishing. So essentially, in takeover, you're going to have a 99 close shot. When it comes down to the driving layup, this is going to be a 98, but pretty much a 99. 99 driving dunk as well as a 99 standing dunk. For the shooting, with all this being taken into consideration, we're going to get a 99 mid-range shot, somewhere around a 95 three-pointer. Then for the free throw, this is going to be 99 as well. Then if you did decide to go with the playmaking takeover, your ball handle is going to be a 98 at the very minimum. Then with the speed with ball, this is going to go up into the 90s as well. Then for the defensive end, you're going to be able to get a lot of potential if you do run with the teammates that are going to be running defensive leader. Now let's go ahead and finally get into the breakdown of these badges. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and say Slithery Finisher on Hall of Fame as well as Limitless Takeoff are going to be two of the key badges. Then from there, I'm going with Gold Posterizer as well as Silver Fearless Finisher. Now, for the next three, this all comes down to what you want to do. But just to even it out a little bit, what I'm going to go ahead and pick is going to be Pro Touch on Gold. Now, if you feel like changing any of the badge setups, go ahead and base them off of your own preference as well as what you feel comfortable with. But for me, this is the way that I'm going about it, just as long as I can lead y'all in the right direction. That is all I'm trying to do. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the shooting. I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Sniper, Silver Hot Zone Hunter, and then also Silver Deadeye as well as Green Machine. Then from here, what I'm really enjoying is how Corner Specialist on Silver is going to be looking as well as Blinders. Now, we have a few more extra badges. I'm going to go with Clutch Shooter. And then for the very last one, I'm throwing on Volume Shooter. Now, from here, we got two more sections of badges that we're going to be able to use when it comes down to this build. So for my liking, I have to be really honest with y'all. If you decide to go ahead and make this build a different way, other than what I'm showing y'all for the badges, that is completely fine. But just remember, as long as you feel comfortable with the way that you're going to be making it, I promise you, everything is going to be able to work out in your favor. So, for the playmaking, I'm going with Silver Hyperdrive as well as Quick First Step. You cannot forget about Unpluckable. Then from there, go with Handles for Days, Triple Threat Juke, as well as Stop and Go. Now, we have one final section to use on this build. What I'm really liking about it is that we're going to be able to really be versatile as well as spread the wealth still on the defensive end. And also remember, the +10 badges that we're going to be getting from our rebirth, and that's including getting an extra badge point from each season, but also getting it from that college championship. So, I'm going to go with Silver Intimidator, then we got Rebound Chaser, Chase on Artist as well as Clamps. And with this build, you do have the potential with the extra badge points to get up to a total of 27 defensive badges. Now, essentially, with these final 3 badges, it really comes down to what you want to go about making it, but honestly, something that I would consider would be tireless defender on bronze, interceptor, and then you could go ahead and change anything of your liking. I'm going to go ahead and either put on pickpocket, or even if you wanted to, you can go with ball stripper. I'm going to leave it up to y'all, but this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. 17 defensive badges, 22 playmaking, then we get 23 shooting with a total of 29 finishing. Again, I just want to say thank y'all to those of you who made it to the end, and if you did, go ahead and comment down Rich Gang Family or RGF just so I know who the loyals are. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity again. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so you can join the Rich Gang family. Be sure to hit that like button. Drop a comment down below. And now, man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.